The profession of architecture and the academy have always had a relationship. It's professional education. So an architect who is studying in school is at the first stage of his professional career in architecture. So there is a relationship, and it's a critical relationship. Architectural education is that point in a young person's life where they're able to concentrate on the fundamentals of what architecture means and what it should mean to the society in which that individual is going to practice. The profession is changing though, and architectural education has to change along with it. In fact, you could argue that architectural education has to change more quickly because the architects that are being educated today will be practicing not only in the next 5 years or 10 years, they'll be practicing for the next 50 years. So this is a huge commitment that education has to make in understanding not only where the profession is at, but where it's going. The profession is changing as a result of digital tools, as are many professions, and even more so. The way that the architect conceptualizes his work, communicates that work to others, and most importantly now, collaborates with other professionals, structural engineers, mechanical engineers, as well as the clients and those people that are purchasing his or her services. So the profession is changing quickly. Architectural education has to change more quickly to prepare that student for the future. The most important way in which architectural education should change to reflect where practice is in the area of collaboration. Certainly digital tools help facilitate collaboration, but it's also the nature of the type of buildings that we're building now and we will be building in the future. They're complex. They're complex to a degree that architecture and building hasn't been in the past. They involve very complex systems, and the integration of those systems has to be understood at the outset and planned for along the way. Architects are working more closely in a collaborative environment with their consulting engineers, understanding how these complex systems affect the space and the quality of the atmosphere that the architect's going to be designing. So the architect has to understand the nature of that collaboration, to be comfortable in working in that environment, but they also have to be trained in a way to understand that their role is unique. Their role is a master organizer of those various professions. The architect needs to understand that they have the vision for the project and that they are the chief builder of the project. And in many ways they are being put in a position to be, as a common phrase is now, master information builders, not just master builders. So they're not only collaborating and putting together disparate pieces of information, they're doing so to put together an end product which will be a building, which will also have disparate professions, building professions involved in the execution of that end product. It's interesting, the question of the role of architectural education in Tunisia and what some priorities might be for that. It is the case with digital tools and with the nature of the economy that professional practice in general is becoming increasingly global. And with that comes a sharing of knowledge and a sharing of culture. The challenge, I think, for young Tunisian architects is to understand the uniqueness of this place, this culture, this way of being in the world and building, and to combine that with the extraordinary technology that can be brought to bear in visualizing and understanding what that could mean. I've been fascinated driving around the country and looking at different methods and manners of building, and there's a tradition, there's a culture of building that is unique to North Africa, it's unique to Tunisia. The young Tunisian architect needs to understand what those traditions are, embrace them, but then innovate on them, extrapolate, bring to bear what he and she has as a design professional, and bring that tradition forward into the 21st century in a meaningful way that will create a built environment for Tunisia that is modern, yet uniquely Tunisian.